If a young athlete or a performer, because I imagine, Jumaane, you have experience with entertainment contracts as well. And I have to imagine there's a similar split of the top 5% who are getting really sought after and everyone else sort of scrambling. So say a young person in one of these fields is fielding multiple offers, say they've really sort of won the jackpot as far as desirability. Broadly, are there things that they should be looking for? I imagine neither of you would advise just look for the biggest number after the dollar sign and go with that one. But in the absence of that, what sort of things would you advise someone to be looking for, broadly speaking?
I mean, that's an amazing question, right? Because we see these bloated or inflated NIL numbers, right? And what we don't understand is that the kids have no autonomy. And that school is basically buying your entire name, image, and likeness, right? So for me, when I negotiate NIL contracts with the collectives, some may think that there may be a lower dollar amount, but this kid still has full autonomy. So if a kid is going to sign and we see, oh, this kid signed for $5 million, this kid signed for $10 million, but, you know, they've given up their trading card, which could be, you know, depending on the player, 7 figures plus.
Right.
Memorabilia, their likeness, the ability to go after a beverage deal, their ability to go after a clothing deal. And so when you look at all of those things, it varies. So if you're saying, you know what, just give me this money and I have no interest in anyone working for anything outside of my true name, image, and likeness, then that's fine. But if, you know, for me, if it's a player, especially an offensive player, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, that's going to be fielded with marketing deals outside, that could be a cover boy or girl, right? Because there is a lot of NIL in basketball. We've seen it with Caitlin Clark, and now we've seen it with Juju and, you know, so many others in volleyball and soccer. But in essence, for me, I like to have my players maintain and control their own IP, their own intellectual property.
Right.
And for me, that's just important. And maybe it stems from my day in music, right? Where we've used a term like not owning your masters, like those are the things that your grandkids will eat off of. And the same within your own IP in college. If you don't control how many times you have to post some silly local car dealership that's a booster for the school, but there may have been a Nissan national campaign or a Dodge national campaign that would help grow your brand so much more. Or if there is a technology company that's aligned with the school because they pay for the school to, you know, put their logo on the sideline, but there's another company that would give you 6 figures for yourself to do that. So those are things that's how I approach NIL. It's just really having a player maintain and control and own intellectual property and really to roll my sleeves up and fight these collectives because someone has to do it.
Well said. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, especially again, if you don't come from money or wealth and you see this big number in front of you, obviously you think like, what else is there to be discussed? Like, I'll just sign on the dotted line. But as Jumaane said, there's so much more opportunity. Oftentimes you may be better off taking less money in order to have that freedom and flexibility to enter other types of deals that will be more lucrative overall in the long run. So that's why it's important to have a great agent like Jumaane.